Hello friends! In this session we will see examples where we will study the method of opening a file, a rank or a diagonal. This is an important tactical method which will be available in several positions, and we will see how to use it. Sometimes we want to opening a file, example, for being able to give a checkmate or being able to win material. So example, in this position, white can force the opening up this rook file, because if the e5 would be open up, then it would give a checkmate for the king. How can we do that? Actually, we can move the queen to f6, threatening checkmate, and for him to preventing the checkmate, he should take it actually. Otherwise, it's a checkmate. Because like here, we just checkmate. Yeah, or if anything else he do, we give a checkmate on g7. Okay, one moment, let me just get back the... Okay, hopefully we are back now. One moment, let's just come back. Actually, back. Let me get back that one. This will be our thing. Yeah, here we are. So queen f6 is the move. As we said, so this one goes to here. Actually, black should take it. And it opened up the e file, so now we can just give the checkmate. Let's see the next example about opening a file or diagonal or a rank. So here we can see this king is in a kind of, I think, in a hard situation, the black king. And if we could get the h file open, then we would be able to give a checkmate on h8. So how to open up the file? Actually, now we do this with a sacrifice. We sacrifice the queen, and now we already opened up, so we are starting to checkmate. He should take it if you don't want to get checkmated immediately. And then we take with the rook. And actually, no matter what he will do, he can try to run away, but it's not helping. We will give the checkmate with rook h8. Okay, so by this sacrifice, we opened up the h file, opened up the file for the checkmate. Let's see the next one. Here, black to move. But you can see this king has not much square to move, the white king. If the rook can go to g1, that would be a checkmate. Yeah, the pawn protects. What we should try to open up the g5, so remove this bishop. And how can we remove the bishop? Actually, we can invite him to move somewhere else. We play queen f3. This way, actually, also we are threatening to take the bishop, so giving a checkmate. White can temporarily have some counterattack, but this is just one check. We go away. h8. Now no more counterattack with the queen. Actually, there is a nice idea. If it plays like this to protect the bishop, so the queen cannot take now, but then we take the queen and this is a checkmate. And so here, if he wants to defend the check, so he wants to prevent against this queen capture. He captures the queen. That opens up the G file. Okay, I am working on this one too. Okay, so this one we looked. Second, third. So yeah, we looked this one. Queen f3, capture. It captures the queen. That opened up the G file, and now the rook can go and give the original checkmate. Okay, let's go for the next one. White to move. So which file or diagonal or rank to open up for the checkmate or for winning material? First, it's good to see the opponent king. So actually this king has some weak squares, especially on the dark squares because of the bishop covers. If the rook could go to h8, that would be a checkmate. So we can try to open up the h5, but if you just take on h5, actually then he can take back with the pawn. And yeah, if take again, then he takes with the knight, and it's not, and we don't have any more rooks for the checkmate on h8. But what we can do actually, take the knight, which protected the h5 pawn, then he takes back. Okay, now we can go and open up the h file. Take. We can capture it, but we capture one more time. Now there's no more blockade on the h5 for the rook, so the checkmate is unavoidable. Rook h8 checkmate is coming. Okay, let's see the next one. Here, black to move. Black to move. Vision is very important. So first, if you see the position, so you look the opponent's king and look other pieces are how they connected to each other, and look also the correlation with the king, our pieces. You can see like this is covered, and if you have like some imagination, you can see, okay, what if I could get like a queen there? This would be a checkmate. Or if I get a rook there. So when you have this image, then you can see, okay, how to make this happen. And then we need these tools, like example, one tactical tool is opening a diagonal or file or rank. So now we want to actually open up the G file, so the bishop will not block our nice rook. How can we do it? We can force this bishop to move away. Should we give this check with the queen? It's actually a double attack. It's a check and attacking the bishop. If he captures, then we achieved what we wanted, so the G file opened and we can give the checkmate. If he moves the king, then we achieved other thing, then we winning the bishop. Yeah, we just captured the check, recaptures, capturing king f3, and the rook goes back to g7, protecting the e7 pawn, and now black has a extra bishop, which will win the game for him. So if you go back to the beginning, just to see again, so opening up the G file, that's the theme. We do that by queen d1, forcing him to take, or we win the bishop. captures, then the g5 opens so we can checkmate. If he moves away, then we won the bishop. Okay, let's go for the next one. So here we are. White to move. So the question is which file maybe to open, or which rank, or which diagonal. One thing we can recognize, this king is literally can be in danger. Really dangerous. It's kind of also opened up, like this diagonal is also opened up. Actually, yeah, if this knight would be not there, actually then we can take on 7 and this would be checkmate. Or if the knight would be not there, then actually we can give a checkmate maybe from diagonal. So actually what we can do now here to force the knight to go away, to open up the diagonal for the queen. It's important how we can capture with both rooks on h7 and then it opens up, but the question which one to take. And it's important actually to keep this rook as a pinner. So we take with this rook, force to take, now can give a check with the queen. So the knight cannot go back, that's important, that pinned, only the rook can go. And we capture, and this is a checkmate now. And no more way to go out, also the knight cannot take. If we go back, just to see what happens if you take with the other rook, takes back. And the problem after this check, he can just play knight f6. And we are nearly the same as before, but we have no rook, he has no h7 pawn. Yeah, it's actually this is maybe still winning because this king is really weak. Something like queen, maybe queen c3, king h, queen h6 is probably good enough for winning the game still. But the other one is just much clearer, yeah, to take with the e, with the e rook. And then, this is interesting. Oh, let me just go back for a moment here, go back here. Okay, so it's important to take with the e rook. So the rook, the knight will be pinned, and now queen c3, rook, queen takes. By the way, who are watching this, this is the software called CTArt, so I recommend you to try it out. And also I have a gift for all the viewers. You can get 1 month of free membership on Chessmood if you are using this link. I just put it to the chat. Yeah, you can try out like 500 hours of Grandmaster lessons. Okay, let's go for the next one about opening up file, rank or diagonal. This is the tactical tool which are working this time. So white to move example, what to do? What we can recognize again, so first we need to have like a vision or some ideas, some possibilities to see. Like this king, actually we can recognize immediately there's no square to move, the knight covers all the squares. Also if this knight would be not here, we can recognize this would be a checkmate. And yeah, it's This bishop can also maybe can be dangerous if this pawn would be not there, and this, so it's too many things, and this and then, so it's just a vision. So then this could be also a checkmating idea of bishop, and the knight covers those squares. And if you have all this together, then actually you can find the idea how to make that happen. It's a sequence of moves, but what we want, so we want to remove the knight. Actually we cannot really remove, yeah, because problem, he will not take. We can try like knight f6, but he will not take with the knight, but he will take with the pawn. Yeah, so probably, but what we can do, we can try to force this way. Take with the queen, then he needs to move, and then bishop h5 would be a checkmate if the g6 would be not possible. So if we can remove those 2 pawns, that opens up the diagonal, and that would be allowing us to give a checkmate. So the right first move is actually knight f6 check. This is beautiful. No, if he takes with the knight, then we saw before, then this is a checkmate on d8. So he cannot take with that. He cannot take with the queen because it's pinned, so his only move is taking with the pawn. And now we can force actually opening up this diagonal for the checkmate. So we capture the queen. He's forced to take. He's forced to take, or we can play like bishop e7, that's another move, but then we give the checkmate, capturing on e7. So we forced to take. Now it's opened up, you know, the diagonal which we wanted in the beginning, and giving the checkmate. Okay, but for all of this we needed some vision in the very beginning to see maybe this possibility of, you know, king has no square to move, and if we can attack maybe from here or from here. So if we can open up this d file or the h5 e8 diagonal, that would be good enough to go for the checkmate. And actually this is how it works. So first we remove this pawn, so it cannot play g6 when we want to give the checkmate on h5, and now we force the f pawn to move, and bishop h5 is checkmate. Okay, let's go for the next one. Yeah, feel free to also write the solutions into the chat if you know it before I'm showing. Feel free to do it. But I want to show it by step, so everybody, even a beginner player, can understand and learn from this how to use this tactical tool of opening a line, actually. So the line can be a file, a rank, or a diagonal. So let's see what's going on here. So white to move. Let's see what kind of vision we can have here. Yeah, this is interesting position. But you can recognize this king has no knight on f6 to defend the king position. Has a rook and has a bishop, so it's actually doesn't seem that bad in the first thing. But what we can recognize, actually, white may have some possibilities to destroy this king position. He has a strong knight looking for that. Also there's a queen looking for that. And what we may recognize, we are not yet castle, but also sometimes a rook actually can be sometimes maybe useful to attack over the g file. So here comes sacrifice, which is, yeah, this is kind of a harder one I think to find. So we sacrifice the knight. So this is a forcing move. It's a fork, a double attack, so he's forced to take. And that actually opens up the g5, plus removes the defender of the h6 pawn. So what we can do, we take with the queen. And actually against this threat, or the other rook may come, if the bishop, let's say, goes here. It's kind of undefendable actually here. Let's see if he tries to opening up for the king to run away, then just rook d3. And no defense against this rook g3. Together they are going for a checkmate. Let's see what else he can try. Let's play maybe f5. Okay, let's just see again how we use this tool of opening up. So this way we are forced him to capture to open up the back rank. So we give it's gained us time, this check, which is forcing him to go back and opening up the other file, that file. And now the final hit is a checkmate. Okay, let's go for the next one. This is a little bit similar actually, like one we looked before. As you see, the black king is kind of alone. So there is an open file on the H file already open. We have a queen to looking there. The rook may come actually quickly if the king can move. So actually if you see all this all together, then you can find a way to opening up his king and gaining time for the final attack. Maybe you have an idea what to do here. So knight f6 check. This is very strong. If he's not if he moves the king, then this is already a checkmate with the queen. Yeah? So he's kind of forced to take the knight if you don't want to get checkmated immediately. But this opens up the g file, which is important because here behind the g7 pawn the king was relatively safe. But now what we can go, we force him to the other, with queen g4 we force him to the other open file where he will have no defense after king g2. Yeah, the rook is coming. Yeah, we check and maybe temporarily, then we just play d5. And then rook h1 is coming in the next move and black will be checkmated. Okay, so here we opened up the g file actually. Opened up the g file to force him to the h file where he had no more defense. Knight f6 takes, check. King g2 and white wins. Okay, so we already saw 10 examples about opening up a file, rank or diagonal. Maybe let's see one more. Okay, this is interesting, nice. Again, the black king is relatively safe now. As you see, his rook is on the corner and the queen is in the corner, so kind of disorganized. But white needs to take some quick action, other way black will play something like rook e8, rook e6, protecting the rook, protecting the knight and developing the rook. Yeah, and actually what you can see another motif, if the g5 would be open, so there would be no pawn here, then queen g5 would be a really strong idea. Yeah, queen g5 would win the knight, and the king should go back to back rank, the rook will be still in the bad position. Actually white can force the opening up the g file by playing knight h5. It's a nice move. He's forced to take, other way this knight is hanging, so he's forced to take. And here comes queen g5. Very strong check. Now black has only one move, king f8. Queen takes f6. Rook is hanging, so he should move the rook to g8 or the king to g8. King g8 would be really bad, because then another idea of double attack would come, rook d1, rook d8. No defense against that one. So rook g8 was played, but still this is very good for white after rook d1. And white is kind of winning. Yeah, his pieces are just too active. Okay, but if you go back to the beginning, what was important to get that position and destroy black's pawn structure was knight h5. So this opened up the g file, forcing the opening up the g file. Okay, let's see the next example. Okay, yeah, it's an interesting position. So black to move. Yeah, this is not something easy to see. I think actually here what's going on. But this is about the king. Yeah, this king is actually looks kind of safe because there's like a bishop defending, knight covering squares, but still this bishop is a little bit passive, blocking the rooks. Probably it came from a banker gambit. So black sacrificed pawn for activity. And in the banker gambit actually, which is typical, this diagonal, those light squares sometimes can be weak for white. Because the bishops are exchanged, the light square bishops are exchanged. So white has no light square bishop to cover the squares. Especially when the queen is on the other side. And then black may use this diagonal. So here the first move is, so black wants to open up the f1 a6 diagonal. And by a sacrifice actually he will do it. Hello Try, nice to see you here. So because the bishop cannot really take back, because then we take the knight and then we got two knights for a rook, that's very good. So white is kind of forced to take back with the knight, and it opens up the diagonal. And interesting, here comes another sacrifice. So black wants to actually open up the king, and there's already one piece, two piece, three piece maybe yet, but also this bishop can join sometimes the attack. So what black does here to removing the pawn cover of the king, so opening up the king's position. By sacrificing in the knight first. This is an interesting and strong move. Yeah. White is forced to take, because if the king moves back to h1, then queen f1 is a checkmate. So see what happens. We opened up the king, plus it also clears the square for the bishop, so it's a two-purpose move, this capture on f3. It also opens up the king, so opens up maybe the second rank. Sometimes also opens up the h3, it will be not defended by the pawn anymore. Plus it cleared the square for the bishop, which was blocked by the knight. Okay. Now queen f1, the original plan comes. And actually there is no real defense against this threat, this is just too strong. Bishop e5. Bishop g3, then queen takes f3. Now this is a threat, taking the bishop, then taking the pawn. Yeah, he tries to defend with this way. Also the knight is hanging, so it's threatening something like rook takes d3, this is brutal. And on the third rank, knight b5, tries to defend. And then what happens now? This rook wants to penetrate. He cannot yet because the queen covers, but black gains time with the check for this one. Check, the king needs to go, and then the rook comes, joins the party, and this wins the game, because now there's no defense against queen g2. Yeah, white should sacrifice probably the queen, but then black will be still attacking the bishop, the pawns, so black is winning. There is a question from the viewers. I am 19 elo, and my exams are ending next month. After that, I am thinking of spending the entire month playing chess. How do I improve, and do you think I can go to 2000 really next month? I don't think, it's in 1 month. That would be like a miracle to go 1000 point up. No, maybe even in a year it looks like a miracle to go from 900 to. In the first month it's actually anything happens, because normally you have some kind of built-in level, so which you can reach relatively quickly, and then it will be maybe harder to go up. So for somebody it's maybe that's 2000. He plays just half a year and he reaching 2000. There are some very talented people. Actually, talent is something like like in your past life you were studying a lot of chess, or you were doing a lot of activities with your mind, so you will become very good in calculations and strategy, and then you can be very quickly, you can use those skills which you acquired in your past life for current life. It happens, but if you are already kind of established level of some, then from going from there up, it's much slower process. But what I suggest is to use the gift, which all viewers have actually, to work with Chessmood. This is 1 month free membership for Chessmood, where you can go from absolutely beginner until like strong master level with video lessons, or opening repertoire, endgame, middle game. Also there are tactics, ninja tactics course, also mating method, or about the mating patterns. You have everything which you need for actually improve your chess in Chessmood, and you can get a free month to try out. Okay, let's go for the next one. Next one, another example about opening a file, a rank, or diagonal. So actually, why to move? So what to do here? Now you can use it actually until 20th of December. This is for like a Thanksgiving gift actually for the chess community. So from now on until the 20th of December it works, the free month. Okay, so this is an interesting example. This king is in a little bit in a danger, but actually black has so many, like black has 4 pawns against the bishop, so without the queens this would be maybe even winning for black, because there's so many pawns. Pawns are very valuable in the endgame. Actually, how the game progress, the value of the pawns compared to the pieces goes up. So maybe in the middle game, like a bishop can be maybe better than 3 pawns, but in the end game, usually 3 pawns are better than a bishop. So definitely we don't want to exchange queens, but this king is a little bit in a shaky position. We may actually sometimes checkmate him or something. If this queen would be like here, look, this would be so you can always play around with ideas where you would put your queen if the opponent king has kind of limited space. It has only 1 square to go actually on e4. Yeah, not also on g3. Yeah, g3. So if you can get a queen there, here, or here, it would be a checkmate. Then if you have that idea, then we can recognize the possibility, which is not easy to find this, but if you could open up the G file, we would be able to come maybe G1 and here, creating some deadly threats. And there is a nice way to open up the G file, forcing him to open the door for our queen to come back to G1 or G2 and go against the black king. Maybe you can find this one. Think a little bit about what to do with black here. Yeah, actually, I plan to start an online chess academy, like this way how I'm doing this today. This is kind of like a free preview of coaching sessions where we are studying a team together, looking different examples, and have like a written for this, like maybe every week one or two of these coaching sessions. So if you are interested and would like to take part of it, you can send me a message on an email or also on the different platforms on chess.com or on Facebook. Yes, you see my different contact informations in the chat. So here the move is actually bishop a6, the first move, kind of an unbelievable move. So giving up our extra bishop, and now we will be down 4 pawns, but it's justified because of this king. He's forced to take, otherwise losing the queen. And now, you know, the file opened up which we wanted, so now queen g1. We are sitting a checkmate here. And not only sitting a checkmate, but sitting to win the queen with this check. So if he, yeah, actually, if he, let's say, plays like e4 to open up and run away with the king, then we just give the check and winning the queen. After the king moves, we take the queen. So this is not helping him too much. Yeah, something like this is also just not helping. Yeah, it's a checkmate. Or if he tries to move away the queen from this motif, it's still a checkmate. The question, if he moves the king actually to, let's say he moves the king to e4, what would you do? Yeah, actually there's a nice motif for that too. Oh, let me just go for a moment. So this was the previous example. Let me go up back here. Okay. So let's just do this in our minds. If king e4, then queen b1 check comes. Yeah, check. He cannot go back. If he goes back to f4, then queen c1 wins the queen. Yeah. So he's forced to move the king. If he goes to d4, then queen d3 is a checkmate. Yeah, because the 2 pawns are blocking the king. And if he goes to d5, then another important idea comes with the double attack. We give a check here. He's forced to go to the 6th rank to c6, e6, and then we take the a6 pawn, and then winning the queen in the end. Yeah. Hopefully you can imagine this one. So after king e4, queen d1. So winning the queen on this diagonal, giving a checkmate on the, or if he goes to d5, then queen d3 check, forcing him to the c6 or e6, and then taking the pawn and winning the queen. Okay, wonderful. Let's go for the next one. Here, white to move. Yeah, let's try to find this one for yourself. I will be back soon. White to move or black to move. Yeah, actually here is white to move. Let me just change it from black to move to white to move. Yeah, here we are. So, any ideas, dear viewers? So, which file to open, or diagonal, or rank? Actually, this king is relatively lonely, plus, you know, the black pieces are far away from the other side. We may think to attack the king maybe over the g file. So here the right move is to force the opening up the g file. First move, knight takes g6. Usually we can force the opening up a file or rank or diagonal by a capture or a check, or sometimes it's two in one, so it's a capture and a check in the same time, because now he needs to do something with the king, so, and also he lost a pawn, so he needs to recapture. So captures, now the file opened up. But actually what here comes, this is so beautiful, because we are doing another file opening here. Another file opening. This would be strong, but then he runs out of the f file, so if we can open up also this file, then it would be nearly look kind of like a checkmate. We would have only this square to go, but then maybe we can two rooks together, and actually we have also a bishop to join the party. Will be enough to checkmate the king. And actually that happens. So see what to do here with white to checkmate the black king. So it's a very, very nice move comes here. We are actually studying the tactical motive of opening lines, opening files, diagonals or ranks in this lecture. So what to do with white? So we actually captured again, as I said before, usually when we want to force something, we need to capture something or give a check, because then it's for the opponent is just painful enough to not just wait and do nothing, but act how we want him to act. So now he should take the queen and opening up the file. Other way, our queen is just we want a knight, and the queen is just continue to attack and checkmate the king. So it's forced to take, and look, now we have what we wanted. We opened up the g file and also the f file. So this f rook is restricting the king, so no escape for the king for that way. So now we can actually use the rook check. Now king h7 is the only square to move, and now the cooperation of the three pieces will bring us victory. Maybe you can find a way how to give a checkmate actually for this king, working all together with those three pieces. Okay, so the first move is actually bishop d3 check. He can play e4 if he wants, but we just take that, so that will not make any difference. Now the king has only one square to move to h6. And here comes the final move, the finishing the attack. So how to give you can write the solution actually in the chat. How to give a checkmate with white now. So, okay, so the checkmate is rook f6 coming. No way to go with the king. So if you go back again to the beginning, so we need to be kind of like imaginaries, but to see, okay, this king is alone, and if you can open up these two files, then the rooks will be very strong to attack the king. So with two sacrifices, we sacrifice the knight first, and then sacrifice the knight to open up the g file, now sacrifice the queen to open up the f file, and then we can make the direct attack against the king. Okay, let's go for the next one. White to move. Okay, what can we recognize again? The king. King is in a shaky situation. Actually, the king has only one square on c7. This rook covers this one. But we can think. So how to cover this escape? That's a good question. Plus, you know, how to maybe attack the king. Example like rook knight b7 check would allow him to run away to c7. But if first we can somehow open up this file, so this is we are studying how to opening up a file, or rank, or diagonal. Then the rook would cover maybe the square. So actually the thing is to remove this pawn somehow. And what we can do, as you remember we said, many times with capture or with checks, that way we can force our will for the opponent, and here the same comes. Check, look, knight gives the check. King has nowhere to move, so he's forced to capture. But this way it opened up at least partly opened up the c file. Our knight is still in the way, but if you move the knight, then it opens up. So then the rook can cover the c7 square, so the knight can go actually now to b7 as the original move. But first we needed to opening up so this pawn was necessary to go to b5 first. So the rook covers the c7 square, and this is a checkmate actually. Wow. Nice to see you, Zedgehammer. So this was, I think, a beautiful example of opening up a file for. This is an important tactical device. Otherwise it would be a checkmate. So first with this knight we're forcing him to opening up the file, and now this is a checkmate because the rook covers the c7 square, so there's no escape. Also, of course, covers the c6. When the pawn was here, then the c6 was not necessary to be covered because the pawn was blocking the king, but now actually the rook covers both squares. Okay, let's go for the next one. Okay, so white to move. Yeah, this is again a little bit more complex situation, but what we can recognize here, okay, first the king, you can recognize, okay, the king is kind of lonely again. Also this pawn is attacked once, defended once, so that's also kind of in a shaky position. Plus geometry, you can see also this geometry, the rook and the king is in the same file, or sorry, same diagonal, so the bishop maybe, or the queen can do something. Actually it would be a nice double attack, but we can see the knight is covering the rook, so actually if we can remove this knight, look, and also remove the g7 pawn, then it would be a nice double attack. So this is kind of like the image before we can go forward or more deeper into this one, and then we can see the way to make it happen. So we have different devices for making a vision reality, and one of them is opening up a file or diagonal or rank. So actually we want to opening up this diagonal, and what we can do is to actually we sacrifice the bishop, yeah, it's he's forced to take. If he's not taking, then we say thank you, we go back with the bishop or we will see how or sacrifice. So it's the king is just lonely, he's forced to take. And now, you know, this is a double attack, but still the knight is covering the rook. So first what we do now, we remove the defender of this rook by making another sacrifice. Yeah, example, this would be not good enough. Yeah, if you would just, let's try to go here, because then he goes back to the here and then forcing the exchange. So this is a very good defending device, actually, the exchange of the queens. So black would force the exchange of queens, and with the extra knight he would be winning. So instead what would happen is actually to taking the knight with the rook, he takes it, and then with the check we win the rook. So here, yeah, taking the knight and then check and win the rook, and then in the business we won a pawn, plus the black king is now very vulnerable. Okay, so first we go back to see the original one. So opening up this diagonal is very important. The a1 h8 is very important. How we do it, like we are making a piece sacrifice and capturing an important pawn of the opponent, so he's kind of forced to take it. Now the diagonal opened, and we can take the knight and then give the check with the queen to win back the material. With interest, yeah, we won also a pawn. Okay, let's go for the next one. Next one, white to move. Okay, this is another nice example of opening. Actually, this will be an opening up a rank, because what we can recognize here, yeah, we're actually down the exchange, but for one pawn, but his king is really in a shaky position, and so we can give a check. First move. Now he cannot, the rook is pinned, so he cannot play rook d8. He cannot move to f7 because the rook is hanging, so he need to move to e7. And now what we can recognize, this queen is undefended. Also this rook is kind of undefended. The rook is attacked and defended the same number of times. Queen is undefended. And if this 7 franc would be open up, then this would be a very deadly move, rook b7, winning the queen. So what we can do, we can actually open up this is blocking the file. So this is blocking the rank, so we can opening up by sacrificing our queen. He's forced to take because we want a rook. So many times when we do this force of opening up the ranks or files or diagonals, we capture something. He's forced to take. And as you see now, the 7th rank opened, and we can take advantage by making this double attack, this check. Attacking both the queen and it's a skewer, so the king needs to move, and then we capture the queen. So in all of this business, actually, we want a knight. I think a knight, yeah, because actually we want a full rook. Yeah, we want a full rook, yeah. We give up a queen, but we got a rook and the queen. Okay, let's go and see the next one. Yeah, this is a relatively easier one. But what we can see here, again, opening up a rank will be important, because what we can recognize when you have bishops, it's always good to see which pieces are on the same diagonal. Like example, this is on the bishop, pawn, bishop, same diagonal. Sometimes we can do something with this. Also, these are same diagonals, so we are already attacking them, yeah. Also the queen and the king, when they are opponent's king and the queen in the same diagonal, we can always think about, wow, what if we can put the bishop also to the same diagonal somehow, and that would be a nice skewer, yeah. But to make this happen, like this would be a nice thing, bishop d5, skewer. It's unprotected now, but our queen can protect if we can open up the 5th rank. And how to open up the 5th rank? Yeah, as Letzgehammer said, yeah, we are actually we can actually sacrifice the rook for the bishop. He needs to take, and then bishop d5, and then the bishop d5 skewer. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. Let's just go back to the beginning. Yeah, so sacrifice, take, and then bishop d5. Win the queen. And here maybe one more important move. So before you actually gain your profit, it's good to always make a last double check if what's the best way to, example, immediately capture, or there's some little better, like an intermediate move. Like here we have actually a better. With takes, actually he has 2 pieces, knight, bishop, and the rook against the queen, which is actually even better than the queen. So here white needs to make a good intermediate move first, which is queen f5. Yeah, this is very important first because this queen is pinned, so we cannot take, but we are attacking the knight. Yeah, now he will move the king to protect the queen, and then we can take the queen, takes back, and then we win the knight. And then queen will be much better than the bishop and the rook, so we win one more piece. Yeah, Aweger, thank you very much for your idea, joining. Yeah, that's it. So if you go back to the beginning, so it's about opening up the 5th rank, the theme was that, by making this sacrifice, yeah, forcing him to move away, because this pawn is in the way. By sacrificing the exchange, we are forcing him to move, and then we can make the plan. And one more thing is sometimes good to make an intermediate move. So before you capture, you may gain some other thing, like with queen f5, making another double attack, forcing the king give up the defense of the knight, and so after the capture we can take the knight in the end. Okay, let's go for the next one. Actually here, white to move. Okay, what we can recognize here, this is a motif in the Queen's Gambit, sometimes happens. No. This bishop c7 and the queen would be trapped actually. Yeah. What we can, but for that we need to open up the c file, yeah? We need to open up the c file to have a protection for the bishop. How we open up the c file? Yeah. So by taking, yeah, taking there. Let's go back for a moment. Yeah, taking. So we are winning this important pawn. Yeah, he cannot take it back because if he takes it back, then bishop c7 wins the queen, because now it's opened up the. Because interesting to see, like, was a knight and the pawn was in the way, but by make this capture, we remove first the knight, and then if the pawn captured, then the pawn also removed, and now this wins the queen. So he should do something else, probably just, let's say, like maybe bishop d6 to protect, then we exchange and then move the knight back to c3 or f4 and be on a very, very important center pawn on d5. Okay, let's go for the next one. Yeah, if black plays bishop g5, then yeah, exchanging and then moving back the knight, so white wins a pawn. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Probably black just played d5 to going to attack here. But I see, like, sometimes the back rank, so the pawns are not moved yet, so there are some, maybe sometimes some back rank issues may happen. Yeah, it was kind of like a liberating move, which normally would in the Sicilian defense to push this pawn. But we will see it may be backfiring. So actually what happens, we want him to, yeah, it's interesting, it will be opening up a file actually. So black wants to open up the file, but actually white also wants, we will see why. It's about opening up the d file. So the first move, what white will do is this one. No, taking the knight, because if black just recaptures with the bishop, then we take on d5, he needs to take our knight, take on our knight, we take back, takes back, and actually, so black will have an isolated pawn on d5, which a small edge for white is not big, but black should probably do that one. But instead, black here fought to make a counter-attacking move, which I encourage for students to try to play active and counter-attacking. But of course you need to see the consequences always of the counter-attack. Sometimes it's better to make a defensive move than a counter-attack, but if possible just try to make counter-attacks. So he black played here the capture on e4. Okay, actually what I will do, let me just get this one back in a moment to be able to move with the pieces. That is number 20, yeah. Okay, so capture, and he captured here, so this is what we talked about, yeah. So instead of capturing, was probably better for black to capture here, but here so it's opened up the D file, but it's not always good. So now white has a very brilliant move. So queen sacrifice captured on e7. Should this d2? Now knight takes d2. Okay, and see what happens here. So here actually white currently has a rook, a bishop and a knight against the queen, which is better. So 3 pieces are, even 3 minor pieces usually better than the queen, but 2 minor pieces plus rook is an advantage. Need to calculate what happens. In the game actually what happened, it was captured here on f3, g takes f3, pawn e5, and then he saved the bishop and later realized the material advantage. Let's see what happens if black would just take the bishop. So probably this was the original plan for black to capture, and now white is only a knight and rook for the queen. But here actually white has a nice sequence of moves to use the back rank. As you remember in the beginning I said, like, this back rank can be sometimes a problem because the pawns are not yet moved. So this would be like a checkmate if the queen would be not there. And if he would be able to open up the d file, of course. So what can he do? Yeah, knight c4, opening up the d file. And as you see again, the move how we open up the files, usually a capture, a check, or a attacking move. So this was not a capture, not a check, but it's a very important attacking move because it's now queen is attacked. Needs to cover the d8 square, so I think c7 is the only square. And as said, knight b5 comes attacking again the queen, and now the queen cannot, interesting that the knights are covering those 3 squares, the knight cannot defend anymore the d8 square, only just kind of moving maybe on the d file, like queen d7, no other ways. Other way, if he moves away like b8 or c6 or c5, then rook d8 is a checkmate. So we need to play like this, and then we take it. And white is now up a knight, which he will be able to, I think, then win the game with this the advantage. Okay, so if you go back to the game just to see what happened here. Captured, and then yeah, here he needed to capture back and accept the isaac pawn, but if he wants to be aggressive and counterattack, it's important to see the opponent's counterattacking moves also, like capturing. So instead of moving the queen, actually sacrificing the queen. takes. Because of this, of course, this is very, very special. Like this is a, we would say like white is lucky, but you can say also like it has like a, had some sign like this king has not opened up the back rank, and the white pieces were kind of active. So here suddenly, actually the knights goes up and no defense against this checkmate. So he needs to give up the queen for the rook. Okay, let's go for the next one. Here actually black to move. Black to move. Let me make it black to move instead of white to move. One moment, I just... Okay, this is big enough, yeah? Okay, let me make it smaller. Can put this also here, yeah. Okay, so black to move. Okay, here. Now what we can recognize, this rook is unprotected. This rook is unprotected. Both rooks are unprotected actually, but black's to move. So it's, if our bishop could go away with a check, that would be deadly. For then would we be able to. So if with the tempo move we could capture something strong, but we cannot capture. But a queen like something like that, or we can give a check. Actually, that looks real. That looks maybe a possibility. Then we could win the rook. So like this would be a check, but it's this diagonal is blocked by the bishop. So what we can think actually and find, opening up that diagonal. How can we open up the diagonal? How can we remove this bishop here? Because this is blocking the diagonal. Look, if we can capture something, so he needs to recapture and then move away from the diagonal. And what that happens here, so we take on e4. What's attacking the pawn? Yeah, probably he should not take. We can play like maybe c4, but then we just go back and we won an important pawn in the business. And if he captures, check, takes, and it's important. We have no time to recapture, but we kind of like intermediate move, and this is the check, very important. So we have then time for recapture on the knight. And then black won an exchange by opening the f1 a6 diagonal. Okay, so it was important again to opening up the diagonal for the bishop, because that would give a deadly check. So sacrificing a knight first. And then taking. Okay, let's go for the next one. Yeah, dear new viewers, maybe a few words about me and what you are watching. This is maybe a question. So this is a free lecture, a free coaching session about how to use the tool of opening up lines, opening up ranks, files or diagonals. So this is an important tactical device. So this is now a free coaching session, so you can look inside my coaching sessions. If you want to also study with me one by one, you can get information on my website on attilaturzo.com. Also in the chat you can just see my email address is attilaturzo@gmail.com. Plus you can read an article which was an interview with me when I was coach of the month on chess.com. Yeah, I started to play chess when I was around 6-7 years old. I became an international master at the age of 18, relatively early in that time. It's 1997. Well, actually 2 years earlier I started already coaching some of my younger teammates, and after finishing the school, secondary school, and actually starting university, I started to coach first children, then adults, and in 2001 I was one of the first online chess coaches of the world. That time we used only chat on ICC, Internet Chess Club. Yeah, and later I lived the evolution of online coaching using voice and then video. And I was teaching the last 24 years, 23. I started in 2001 actually on online teaching, so that was 23 years ago. I was teaching hundreds of students from all around the world, also young ones, older ones. Usually I teach students from 14 years old or older, but there's no limit for the how old can be. I had also students who are, I think, over 80. Usually I was teaching hobby players who want to improve their chess, maybe playing online or playing in the local club or playing sometimes some tournaments. I was teaching also a few talented juniors. Actually 2 of them became international grandmasters. One of them became also national champion of Paraguay, Axel Bachmann. He also went over 2600, became one of the best 100 players of the world. And also from Norway, I had a student, Lars Oskar Hage, who became international grandmaster and rated over 2500. But usually students are under rated 2000. I was happy to teach also very beginner players, so even just started out maybe in a few weeks, a few months. Or if you just want to learn the moves, I am happy. Or if you want to give us a gift for some of your loved ones to learn chess on the right way. Yeah, feel free to message me if you want to improve your opening repertoire, you want to be better in tactics. Like example in this coaching session now I am teaching you how to use the method in tactics of opening up files, ranks, diagonals. But also you can improve your endgames with me, or learning typical plans of the middle game, difficult positional tools like about pawn structures, or about space advantage, or how to use time advantage, or what to play when you are behind or in disadvantage. Yeah, if you're interested, just feel free to message me. So let's come back to this position and see now what to do. So here actually white to move. White to move actually. So the black king looks like in a really shaky position that you can recognize immediately. Also, we can recognize this queen is unprotected. It may be important information for the future. Go for the attack and maybe going for the attacking the queen. So the first move is actually rook. The queen goes to h8. Queen goes to h8, check. We are forcing him to go out here. Okay, and here we start to recognize some motive. Look, this is something which you can recognize, which we talk about too. And there are unprotected pieces in the opponent camp. We can look how can we maybe attack it on a diagonal or like here, or sometimes on a rank or on a file. So how somehow take advantage of it. It's unprotected, it may be vulnerable. Yeah, so here, yeah, but if you play something like this, is one idea, like queen to h7, and the idea is to, if you give a check, move away with the queen, and then the black queen would be hanging. The problem, we don't have time for that, because actually, maybe he can, yeah, interesting, it's even, no, the problem, I think, he can do something like rook g8, yeah, rook g8, so counterattack, takes with the knight, yeah, we cannot take with the knight because the queen is hanging. Okay, so we don't have time for playing slow. We actually want to gain time for this to make it as a check. But as to make it as a check, this pawn is in the way, so we should open up the 7th rank. How to open up the 7th rank? We want to force him to move away, this pawn. Usually we do it with a capture or check or very strong attacking move. Here actually we can do it with a capture. It's a forcing move. Yeah, it's a, he's forced to take with the pawn, other way the king is checkmate, so he's forced to take. Okay, now we gain time, so now we can capture this with a check. So he has no time like rook g8, like in the other line, to win our queen. Now he has two options to play. He can move the king, but if he moves to d6, then we can take advantage of the idea, you know, and opening up the diagonal with the check, actually gaining time. So we are moving this with the check, and then we can take the queen. So that's why king d6 is not good. What happens if knight to f7? This is another way to defend. It's again very nice idea. Actually, the next move is it's opening up a file. Opening up a square. Because you look before, when the king moved here, then we would have this really nice. It's a check with the knight, and then it opens up the diagonal. But actually, we can go like this way, but the problem with this one opens up, rook takes, and he pins it. We cannot take the queen. So we need, the d5 square, that's it, beautiful, the d5 square we need. So d6 actually opens up the square for the knight. If king d6, then again, like in the previous one, then knight e4 check. And the check opens up the diagonal and win the queen. What else he can do? Capture with the rook. Now we can use this opened up file, knight d5 check. This d5, queen takes b2. And finally we got the queen and pawn against rook and knight, so that's a big material advantage for white. So actually we made this diagonal open, so we can make this discovered attack. Yeah, this is a discovered attack against the queen. But this all started in the very beginning, so First going to the same diagonal. And now here we started to clear the diagonal. Yeah, clear. So we want to remove this pawn, so then we can make the important discovered attack with the knight and the queen. And yeah, this is a very strong move to gaining time and opening up the 7th rank. So now we can take with a check, so he has no time to rook g8. And again, to make the right way to discover the attack, we need to clear this square, the d5 square. So we push the pawn, the check, and now we cleared it. We can take the queen. Okay, let's go for the next one. So here I think white to move. Yeah, this probably came from a King's Indian defense. Typical position for King's Indian defense. Usually black wants to attack on the king side. Probably he already played f5 and exchanged on e4. White wants to and gain space on the queen side. And actually the typical weakness of black is d6. The d6 pawn, maybe after exchange, this is not nice, it's a problem, the d6 one. Plus here another motive which we can recognize, the queen and the king in the same diagonal. So when, always look the opponent's king and look if you can put something on the same file or rank or diagonal where it stands, because it may generate sometimes some possibilities for a combination. And this is here the same situation. Look, this is dangerous. Actually, if we could open up the diagonal, look, then this would be really it's the check. And actually, if we could opening up diagonal by pushing this pawn, this would be really bright, because then it would be a discover check. It would attack the knight in the same time. Black probably played h6, that was the last move. So here white also has this nice attack. So on the diagonals, actually white is strong now in the diagonals. Also the queen attacks the king and the bishop may attack the queen. So we want to take advantage of those situations. Yeah, please find a way to take advantage of it. Sorry. How to take advantage of this one. How to take advantage. Okay, I think first move is which we need to consider that is capture. Yeah, capturing on d6, because this is a big threat. So if he cannot take our bishop, because we take the knight. And that's a fork. That looks very strong. And also his pawn structure is bad, so should recapture. Okay, and here need to go a little deeper and see all the forcing moves, all the checks, captures. You know, we want to open up this diagonal, so to be able to open the diagonal, this pawn should move somewhere. This is herbal tea, so not beer or wine, herbal tea. Yeah, please calculate, I will be back in a moment. the sun. Wow, looks like Zledgehammer solved the challenge. So yeah, knight takes d6 is the move. Ah, Ortnag Gaming was also seeing it. Wonderful. Yeah, so it's important to, so we remove the blockade first, captures, take here, it's a double attack, actually better to not take, but it's better to just give up the exchange. Let's see, it takes, now comes a very important discovered attack. Discover check. So we opened up the diagonal. This was our original idea. Yeah? This is an example about opening up a diagonal. The queen should move, and then one more important move, bishop comes. So now we are winning on this diagonal. We win the queen. Okay, so let's look the next one. So white to move here. Again, we can already, I think, in the very beginning, we can recognize the position of the black king is kind of vulnerable. Welcome everybody in the free coaching session. So you can all participate, telling your ideas. There is a question for the previous example. Why not rook f7? Yeah, so if you do this, then we just take the bishop and we won't back the. But it was a question, what if... the question why not rook f7 here, probably that was because after queen f7 bishop, but the rook f7, then we just take the queen, yeah. Okay, so let's move on, next one. So king is in a dangerous situation, we can recognize. Yeah, so this is a important challenge for black. That diagonal. So we want to open up actually that diagonal, because if this queen would be removed the diagonal, then probably would have some very dangerous discover check. So what we do first, actually we remove this knight. can capture back only with the pawn. And here we have a nice move. Again, remember we said to force the opening up something, usually you should try to capture something, give a check, or make an attack. Something strong, something valuable. The problem with rook d5, actually you can play king to e7 to move and keep the rook defended. No, so it's not forcing actually the opening up. So we want him to force, so we want him to move this queen out of this. This is the theme of today's lecture, to opening up files, diagonals or ranks. So we want him to move this queen away. How can we force him to move away? You know, we move the rook here. Yeah, attacking the queen. And actually he has not so good move. You know, if let's say he moves away, if you don't want to, so now we cannot attack with the rook, but then we have, you know, very strong discover check, this one. We are ready to win the rook. And then we will be up in exchange, plus his king is still very weak. Let's see if he captures. Now, you know, we are just one move away from having the open diagonals. How to open up the diagonal to win material in the same time. Wow, this is a lot of herbal tea. Like, wow, half a liter, or six deciliter actually, I think, wow. A lot. Yeah, there's only one good way now to use this. The probably if rook f4, then he goes back with the queen to e6, and now he is happy because he won a rook. The problem with rook c5, the same problem actually. I think queen e6, and then, you know, we sacrificed too many things. Now we are down a rook and the bishop. So if we win back a rook, still we will be up down a bishop. So that's also not. This is not good enough. Plus he can play us even like f5 actually. So he's not even. He will not even lose the rook. I am sure somebody can find a solution from viewers, please. Tell me the winning move for white. Hello, the Dagenku. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Welcome to the. Okay, actually, Sledgehammer found it finally. So rook e5 is the move. Yeah, rook e5. No, it's a discover check, very deadly. Check, it's a double attack, yeah, check, plus the rook attacks the queen at the same time. You know, f5 is not helping actually, because we can just take it because the f5 pawn is still pinned. Yeah, if the king moves, we take it, and then we have now a rook against the queen and bishop, so this is winning. If you go back to the beginning just to see again what happened here. So we captured first the knight, which covered actually the e4 square. Because now we can make this forcing move to force him to move away, and then we can open up the diagonal finally. What else? I think there was a few more possibilities here. Ah yeah, So if he, example, not captures the bishop, but captures the bishop. So captures the rook. This is one possibility. Was here. It is not. This is not, again, not that easy. Yeah, beautiful moves comes here. Actually, we need to make another move which opens up a file, the F file actually. Probably with rook d5, it looks good first, but he can go to c7. Defending the rook, and if queen d7 check, then the king runs away, b8. And the bishop e5 check comes, then bishop d6, so problem he can give back a bishop because after the take he goes away. The rooks are protecting each other. He has a up and exchange. So rook d5 is not good. Also rook takes c5 is not good because then queen e6 is going back, so he's happy. So rook c5 not good, rook d5 not good. Actually the move is bishop takes g7. This is kind of a hard move to find. The idea is to actually, as I said, opening up a file. So the idea is to play rook b7, rook f7 double attack, double check, and then queen d7 penetration. That's kind of, and also, again, as you see, we open up the file by a capture. So something forcing, a forcing move to use. Rook is hanging. Let's say he captures the bishop. Now give the check. King cannot go back because that's a checkmate with the queen. Also if he goes to d6, that's a checkmate. On d7 he should move here, but that's just one move longer, check. And the checkmate comes, finally. Wow. Beautiful combination, no? We looked opening up a diagonal in this one and also opening up a file. Yeah, if he captures, then this is about opening up a diagonal. And if he's not capturing that, but then this is an important opening up the file. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Actually, if you are enjoying this lecture and would you like to support to make these free lectures also available more for others, then the donation is very much appreciated. Even a few dollars can make the show run. I think if everybody gives a few dollars, then this would make it fine. Also, you can subscribe, that way you can also support these free lectures. Okay, let's look the next one here. White to move. White to move. What do we recognize here? So white probably looks like sacrifice the pawn. Yeah, it's because black has an extra pawn here. Other materials equal, but the king always, the king, you know, we have so many pieces around the king. You know, it's also like the queen and the king in the same file. So maybe we can try to think about if we can open up this look without those pieces. Yeah, this would be deadly. So probably we can checkmate him. So how to make this happen? Try to make forcing moves if possible. Yeah, attacking the queen with bishop, that looks maybe a strong, it's a forcing move, very much forcing. So actually bishop f6 looks like a good move. Yeah, just thinking if there is something which black can do, because there's another move also, which is a 4C move, and I had the other move as in the game also, which happened. But let's take it after bishop f6. Is there anything black can try? Yeah, maybe that's just the same good. What counterattack can do? No, actually, bishop f6, no, look. Bishop f6, he can play queen e2. Yeah, you know, he has time for this counterattacking move. Yeah, counterattacking move, and then the queen is attacked, and there comes some complications. If you move the queen, then he can move maybe g6, and he probably escapes. But yeah, the second move with Zetskammer suggested that works actually. I think knight f6 check. Yeah, knight f6 check is the way to go, because this is more forcing, because actually if he just moves the king out, then we take the rook. So we win the exchange. So he's kind of, yeah, probably he should do that to not get even worse situation, but if he captures, that's what we wanted, opening up the G file. We take it here. And actually this is a checkmate. Yeah, it's actually cannot only move and then we checkmate him. So yeah, knight f6 is the move, and yeah, he should move out and then we take the rook. And then white is up and exchange a rook for a knight and pawn. Yeah, and all this was possible because of this idea of opening up the G file. Okay, let's go for the next one. What to do here? So white to move. Wow. What do we recognize here? Material is the true. Wow, looks like equal actually. Equal number of pawns, equal number of pieces. The black king is in the middle of the board, so this can be something we can try to take advantage. Maybe if we could open up the e file somehow. That would be brilliant. Yeah, to make an attack against them, because then, yeah, if you could remove this pawn, yeah, then with this knight would be some real deadly attacks. Yeah, like maybe this cover check to win the queen, or sometimes maybe going for the checkmate. Yeah, f5. So f5 is the right move to, you know, inviting to open up the file. Yeah, or if you take it with the pawn, then it takes back, then it also opens up the f5. So it's actually, it has two purposes, not only open up the e file, but maybe opening up the f file. Yeah, probably he should not take with the e pawn, because that's just really dangerous. So he should take with the g pawn. And here comes a very, very nice move. Yeah, maybe you can take a little time. Yes, that Gamma already have it in the chat. Yeah, dear viewers, actually, if you want to take advantage of this gift, this offer, actually, you can get 1 free month Grandmaster lessons. You can use the link which you can see also on the screen, and let me send the link also in the chat if somebody wants to go there, and you can register for free, and then you can enjoy all the valuable video lessons from Grandmaster, around 500 hours of video lessons about all themes like openings, middle game, end games, calculation, psychology, or what you want, from absolutely beginners until like strong master level. It's a Thanksgiving gift actually for the chess community. You can use this until the 20th of December. So queen takes f5, what a move, what a move. Yeah, he cannot really take it, yeah, we will see what happens if he takes, but can do this one to give a check, and we move away. But still this is very, so f7 is saying, so it's actually no really way to defend against stuff if like bishop e7, then take it. Other knight is joining. And finally this wins the piece. Yeah, this double attack. But let's see what happens if he takes, because this would be really nice. Yeah, if he takes the queen, then here comes, that finally opened up the e5, which originally we wanted. So we can take advantage of that. Knight f6, you know, going for the king actually. By playing actually f5, we also opened up this diagonal, so it's not only, we needed actually two things for this to work. Opening up the diagonal, so this bishop covers the c7 square, there's no escape. And the rook is ready to penetrate. Look, what a checkmate. Wow. What a checkmate, what a checkmate. This is beautiful. Actually, same thing would happen if he captures with the e-pawn in the beginning. Yeah, we just give this check. Opening up the rook for the rook. And it's a checkmate again. Beautiful. Okay, let's, if you see again back here, you can recognize, okay, some powers, but we need to open up, you know, to open up the position to break this blockade, open up to be able to attack the king. And also to use our pieces, because it's behind the pieces, it looks like they are just waiting for doing something, but they are blocked. That's why f5, yeah, going forward. Even sacrifice the queen, and now it's, you have to open up for the, and now opened up, yeah. Now all the pieces are working, doing something useful. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is number 27 actually. Wow, we did already 27 examples today. It's over now, we are over 2 hours of this coaching session. How do you like it? Did you learn some new things today? Anybody in the chat thought he learned a few new things? Is it worth watching this? Okay, okay. So, black to move. Let's see what's going on here. King is here and the queen is here, so again, always look the opponent king, what's going on. So if we are something same diagonal, as the opponent king, then we, or same file would be, so we always start to think if there is something we can use that situation. But we can recognize if this pawn would be not here, then it would be really dangerous. Coming with the queen or with the rook, that would be really dangerous. So opening up this diagonal, probably this will be the theme here. But we need to find maybe the right timing for it. Yeah, let's take some time. Yeah, please think about it, what to do here. Yeah, actually black to move here. Try to calculate a little bit for further, not maybe just the first move, but let's take advantage of this situation. Okay, so Oshki, nice to see you here. So yeah, let's see. So this is the first move, yeah. So we need to open up the diagonal, yeah. We need to open up the diagonal, even by making the sacrifice. So to open up a file, rank or diagonal many times, you need to capture something or strong check or attack something very valuable. Okay, let's see if he captures. Now d3. We open up, and also this way we cut off actually his escape route, so he cannot go backward on h1 or h2. Yeah, actually I need to go to king f1 actually. Yeah, you need to go to f1. If he goes to e1, we will see what happens then, but that's also not happening, not better. So here, let's go here. Now we add the new piece, yeah, rook f8. Actually, yeah, you need to move the bishop. He cannot move actually, I think, the knight, because then we push the pawn, opening up another diagonal, and that will be just deadly. Yeah, all the squares are covered around the king with the queen, the bishop, and the pawn, so that's kind of like a checkmate, actually. So he's forced to play bishop f3. Now we need to add more power for the attack, queen e3. We're attacking the knight. Defense, let's see if he defends the knight. Now we take it. Take. takes. And here comes the another opening up another diagonal with d3, d2 check. So actually it's a very important discover check because it's attacking rook, king g2. Yeah, and here one more important idea. We cannot just take the rook because then he takes the bishop and then actually he's... yeah, we can still take this one, but it's equal material. So we need to take the knight actually here, one more strong move, this move check. Try to capture with the check, if it's not possible he goes there, then we take it. And he cannot take the bishop because then we win the rook actually and finally. So we will be up a bishop. Okay, one moment. Yeah, my daughter was asking when I will finish. Yeah, she's at home actually now because a little bit sick, and I take care of her. So I think we will do this one and one more example, and then I think we will finish for today. Anyway, it's nearly 2.5 hours of study, so it will be good for everybody. So let's go back a little bit. There were maybe a few moments where there was maybe a question, what else happens? Yeah, so example capture here, but then we do again the check first, we take the knight, intermediate move, check, and then we are winning the... So we will be up a bishop. No, he had anything else? Question? Yeah, it's yeah, if he defends, let's say with the rook, check. Check. Yeah, he cannot go back because of the checkmate. Yeah, actually I think this should be also winning because it's just, you know, we can take all the pawns and it's his king is just so vulnerable. There is one more line. If he goes to here, the beginning, I think Zlatski-Hammer Road, then we give this check instead. So not on G1. He cannot go to here because then Queen E2 is a checkmate. If he goes here, I think yeah we can. We can take the knight, this one, with a possibility I think which looks good. Or we can again give the check, and then taking on. I know we can just take the knight and the bishop will be also. If the knight moves, then this is again deadly. It's checkmated. The bishop opening up the diagonal. We take the rook, take the queen, and checkmate. Okay, so if we go back to the beginning, what happened? So the rook sacrifice. You know, we opened up the diagonal. If he captures, So we opened up diagonal and forcing him to go to unsafe territory with the king. And then using the active cooperation. Yeah, and this is very important, one more strong move. So it looks like it's attack is stopped, but no, go forward. And they're ready to gain material now. Ah no, this would be not that. Yeah, this would be good. Yeah, because if he takes, then we would win the rook. Okay, dear friends, one more puzzle for this time. One more example of how to open up the files, ranks, or diagonals. Yeah, this happens probably from Sicilian defense. Actually, I played this kind of setup with black. I played before. So black has actually 6. So black has actually 2 extra pawns. So it feels like it would be even good for black, or sometimes. But I played this in the past. But after, like in the last couple of years, I started to recognize this king is many times can be really in danger. It's vulnerable. Actually, I did not get really much in the classical games. I played a lot and I got very good results. So I did not get really checkmated and no problems. But playing blitz in the last couple of days, in this sometimes it happened with me. I got in trouble. So now I am much more concerned about how much playable this with black. So what to do with black? Actually, as you see, the king is in danger. This looks like really danger, big danger actually. No? If it feels like it's just, we open up this file somehow, maybe remove the knight, then it would be really like, it's not a checkmate, but it's very dangerous. And if you remove also this pawn, then maybe sometimes like queen d7 would go. This would be more than enough. But yeah, but we need to do it in the right way. Because if you start with knight f5, actually the problem, he takes it. We check, he goes back to e8, and it's no follow-up, because this knight is so strong. It's defending the important d7 square, defending the rook. Queen covers this one, so it's not. There's no follow-up actually, unfortunately, and black will probably win with the extra knight. So actually we need to remove also. So not only open up the file, but we need to first remove this important knight. That's very important. First we just take it. Okay, we take it with the rook. Yeah, he should. Yeah, actually, he should take it. Preferably, probably he should take with this pawn, because if it opens, that's immediately that helping us. So if you take with this pawn. Okay, one moment. Let me just. Okay, let's come back here where we were. So yeah, capture, and here comes the knight f5, which wanted. Okay, this is tricky because now we sacrifice an exchange, now we sacrifice a knight, so we will be down a rook if he takes it, and he should take it, I think, one way or the other. Because if he's not taking, then we just take with the. With the knight here, and then we win back material and steal the very strong. So he's forced to take. Let's see what happens if he takes with the rook first. To be able to run away. Must then be. Now we don't want to just take the rook back, but we want to take advantage, because then he may, he may defend this pawn with rook c6, and he is still up like 2 pawns. It's a good chance even black is winning, so we need to take this one first, winning back material also in the same time. Queen takes this is king f6. Now we take it. We are ready to, take with the pawn, opening up one more file. Here was this was a line which analyzed like rook takes here. Yeah, this is just deadly. Yeah, looks like takes here. Ah, yeah, this is a nice finish actually. Yeah, forcing him, this king to the g5, so then we can make a double attack on the rook and the queen. Check. If he captures, then we can give a checkmate with the rook. Nice rook and queen checkmate. Then we give a check. And winning. Finally, so it looks interesting. We invested the rook but got back 2 rooks. Okay, let's go back to where it can maybe make some differences. Let's see if it takes with the pawn. Check. Again, we want to take advantage, this rook is unprotected. This is important. So we wants to use this like with some kind of double attacks, with this or on the file. So we do this actually, capture. It's interesting because he cannot defend against the. If king f8, then we just give a check and win the rook. And his king is still in very much vulnerable. If he goes the rook here, then again comes this check. Yeah, actually, and this is again the idea of intermediate moves comes here. Remember, we looked at one of the previous examples. So when you have looks like winning moves, maybe you don't need to make it immediately, but because maybe you have one more, you gain something more before taking it. And this is one of those examples. Actually, instead of taking the rook immediately, we can take this pawn first. What happens if he moves like this? That's even a checkmate with queen takes f5 checkmate. If king f6, then also we check, and then we can take the rook. So we want 2 more pawns. And if he goes back to here, yeah, actually then again we can now go. So we want an extra pawn compared to the original one. And then winning. And this should be a winning position with this weak king. So go back to the beginning. It was important to first eliminate this strong defender. Yeah, this knight is a very strong defender. Usually, when I play this with black, I had here a queen or a knight or a bishop would be even stronger. Sometimes there is a bad bishop on f8 or on e7, and then making like this maneuvers over h6 or b6 to get it back to the game. So removing it and then opening up the file for the final penetration. This, then just take it and then winning back. winning back the material with some interest and with still attacking the king. Okay, friends, hope you enjoyed this session. Nearly 2.5 hours of pure tactical vision. So we studied examples about how to opening up a file or rank or a diagonal to help our combinations work. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, if you enjoyed it, please subscribe to Twitch or subscribe also to YouTube. Thank you all your support, and if you are interested, I am also available for one-to-one online coaching, so you can experience it at your own one-to-one, but also I plan to do this kind of sessions, on a series of sessions on the different tactical devices as a course. Yeah, stay tuned for about information about that one. Yeah, thank you again and see you very soon. Bye bye.